it's well maintained. And since it's well maintained and people are showing up, and now they see their soccer nets, because I've heard about that from several families. And it's like, you know, where's the nets? I said, we're working on that. We'll come up with nets. We got to raise the money. But guess what? We got them out so that your kids can go out there and kick the ball. Thanks.
But do you think that the board put those in the ditches?
I'm sure we did.
You know what? It's not this board.
Why wouldn't
This board, you and I wouldn't do that. We
But
wouldn't do that.
they've been probably out in the woods out there for 15 years.
But it doesn't make it right.
Not that we've got any soccer leagues around here.
There's all kinds of them just over in Monitor, and when those kids want to go practice after school, the mom and dad can run over here. And you know what? I see parents playing kickball with their kids. So we don't need to do that. You know, we'll just all gain a couple pounds.
Well, then as long as we're on the subject of those nets, then I will entertain a motion for you to get the price of new netting for it and get them scraped and painted. I think they're metal.
Yeah, they are. I was back there, and they're actually not that bad.
I'm pretty sure they were probably built by somebody in the community originally.
I have no problem with that.
I'll make a motion then that Charlie will get the bids on the new nets and getting them scraped and painted or whatever it takes. You might have to get them sandblasted. Like I said, I don't know how rusty they are.
Now you can brush them down and get them painted and see how it holds up if we use a good epoxy paint, and then we'll go from there.
I know where they are. I hear a second.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. You want
We had a roll call.
Yeah, let's-
Window roll call.
Roll call vote on
Campbell.
Yes.
DeShano.
Yes.
Davison.
it. Yes.
Class.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes.
All right. The building report.
Did we didn't vote on the bills yet?
No.
Oh,
Same motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills. Oh, we did that. And you seconded it.
We still have
That was a,
Oh, wait a minute, we voted on bills. We
I
did.
thought we did.
We did, we voted on bills.
Subject to those.
Subject with the, yes, the $1,600 or $1,160 bill for White.
All right, the building report. Any questions on that?
looks like a lot of work.
Big report this time.
Dick here?
Yeah.
I thought I saw him.
Oh, there he is.
Do you have anything to add, Dick? They're hiding back there.
I'm
good.
Well, these are not only building, but these are mechanical.
Yes. A lot of work for upgrading the park over there.
The zoning administrators report. Any questions on those?
The citation to move the mobile home, what's the status on that, do you know, Sam?
We're meeting tomorrow with the court system to make sure that I put the new citations together, because I got about 30 pages. Put them together properly, but they'll accept them.
Oh, it's a new report system?
Well, it's a new citation.
just a new format.
Okay.
That actually changed a long time ago, but that the court only 60 days ago said they're changing.
Oh,
It
okay.
changed in 2021. They never told us.
So we got a new report system.
Well, it's a new
Documentation.
documentation to file, and they sent me a copy of them, but it's pretty confusing. So we're gonna meet with them tomorrow, and she can show me what all goes together for us to make copies of, to make it
Okay.
together.
So then, even though the zoning report says citation to move the mobile home, that hasn't actually been cited yet because of the change in form.
Right. As soon as I get the right form, I will write the citation, and we'll get the sheriff to deliver it.
So I see here it says Resler property. I thought Resler property was resolved. But it says travel trailer.
Well, the travel trailer, we're gonna need to see a copy of the,
It's got a new plate.
but originally it didn't have a plate.
Correct.
No, it had a plate.
It wasn't his plate though.
Correct.
And I got a copy of the bill of sales, so now I need to just see a copy of the title and the registration. And the travel trailer can stay there, and then we'll do a final inspection. We have not received a bill yet on that particular property.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, Mr. Letourneau died here a week ago Saturday, and his son has taken over. And I am very impressed. I don't think in the last 3 times we have taken Mr. Letourneau to court to clean the place up, it looks as good as it does right now.
Oh, it looks immaculate. You could eat up the grass.
So I spoke to the son today, and he is going to put a new roof on it and possibly just rent it out for right now. Clean it up and rent it out.
Yeah, no, you've done a remarkable job.
So, other than that,
This other.
Shaw Lane, that's, Eagle has approved a house to be put on the end of Shaw Lane in the wetlands. The health department has approved the height of the septic field. Eagle has approved the height of the house. I have met with all the neighbors over there. There is nothing I can do after Eagle approved that particular property as long as he follows the building codes
Codes.
of the township.
Went down a look.
They were very concerned about the runoff. The property this gentleman has about a 25 to 30 foot property around his house pad that is still wetlands. So his runoff will run off into the wetlands and not onto the neighbor's property.
Yeah. And all the documentation's hanging there too, because that other guy tried to build there and he couldn't. So this guy did his due diligence, that's for sure.
Yeah. So on the Bordes Road, because this Shaw Lane is off of
Yes.
the Bordes Road, I can't remember the address of the house, but we are going to dig the south, the county has agreed to dig the south side of the Bordes Road, because that's a primary road, down to the culvert that crosses into the ditch that they dug 2 years ago that goes out to the bay. And again, I can't remember the guy's address, but he has dug a ditch down his east property line that possibly could drain the swamp once we dig this other ditch. But
to
that's
be
not our
seen.
problem. His little ditch along the edge, he says is just deep enough to keep the water off his property, so I have no idea if Eagle will make him fill that back in or what's gonna happen. But the county's gonna dig the road ditch to drain the place.
Is that gonna be at their expense or ours?
No, it's a primary road, that's at the county's
Oh,
expense.
that's the emergency exit road, isn't it?
Yes.
The village, okay.
Well, it's the truck road
Yeah,
out of the
the
village.
bypass.
Unlicensed vehicles, are those specific, are they all over the place? Is there a number? Just curious, because there's certainly enough of them sprinkled around, but you don't know which ones he nabbed for being unlicensed. You have any idea on that?
Well, he's sent letters to the unlicensed vehicle, but I guess until he sends them to me, I guess I don't know who they are. I do see some of the complaints. Most of them he picks up here at the office and takes and works on them.
Private road runoff, 1640 South Huron Road, is that there was a gentleman,
Yes,
that's the same situation?
yes.
Is that right here by the old banquet facility?
No, it's on the west side of the road down. The road goes back to 3 or 4 houses back in there.
Okay.
and his road, the houses at the end graded the road and it runs onto his lot now. I suggested, before he even got the zoning administrator involved, that it's an easement, so he can't shut the easement off,
Right.
but he owns about half of the easement, the dirt underneath, to grade the road to the middle, and it would run all the way to the Kerr drain. But he's talked to him, the zoning, I've talked to him, I've met with him out there. There's not a lot we can do about a private easement that goes back, that let 2 or 3 houses build on the other end of it, you know what I mean? I told him they could get a road maintenance agreement, but he just complains that they're dropping water onto his, and there's not. And he also says M13 drops water into his driveway.
Absolutely.
Well, there's a lot of homes that M13 drops water into their driveway. Whether you're on the east side or the west side, depending on which way the road is hooking at the time.
Have occurrence.
So,
Do
All right.
appreciate that the zoning reports are more detailed, gives us a little bit more information.
all right, I'll just make a motion to approve the communications.
I'll second it.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Public input. 3 minutes. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead. We need your name and your address.
Yes. Hello, my name is Elizabeth Borkshire. I live at 1871 South Huron Road in Caucalan. I'm here today because I have a health concern for my family, my 80 and 90-year-old neighbors. I would like the township to consider an ordinance such as Bay City's ordinance number 2014-4, Section 2, established October 6th of 2014 regarding bees, hornets, and wasps, with fines and enforcement to comply. I'm considering this ordinance, or I would like the board to consider this ordinance, because my neighbor at 1865 South Huron Road established on August 3rd and August 4th. He put up 10 beehives only a few feet from the property line, directly across from my 3-year-old child's play set. Currently, there are no state of Michigan laws that enforce the upkeep of bees, and it's up to each township to provide the safety for its residents. The bees do not have proper water barriers, and it's only a half an acre, and the openings are directed at our property with my child's play set. Thank you.
Thank you. Brad?
1890 South Huron Road. I'd like to point out to all of you that there's a huge attendance of people here, and there's only 6 people that signed in. It is a duty for you guys to have a log back there and keep it up. There's over 36 people other than the board, with only 6 signing in, including people in the hallway. It's funny, 60 days ago, all of these complaints changed with the court system. When I went to the court system 60 days ago, maybe even 67 days ago, and found that there was a warrant for Mr. Letourneau, the then dead Lawrence Joseph Letourneau. Since then, as you stated, Sam, Mr. Letourneau died, sadly, 9 days ago. So before that happened, I met with his son who called me, Joe, and I went over to the yard and went through everything because he wanted to understand what blight was. So I went through everything that was considered blight, that I felt matched the ordinance that Sherry provided me. So I've asked for multiple things on these properties, FOIA'd, I was allowed to come in one time and review some stuff. And then the neighbor next to Mr. Resler told me about a drone being flown over the Resler property and how he wouldn't let the drone be flown off of the REI property. So I've FOIA'd the township for those photos, and I did. So,
This is
did you respond to me?
Oh, I've been gone.
I'm just saying, and I don't want to, Sherry, you've been great.
This is not a question.
You've been great, and I'm just saying, I was not provided an answer. What you've been doing has been outstanding with allowing me to view records. I'm not throwing you under the bus at all. Please understand that. You were very polite when I came in for those records. Now, when it comes to the Resler property, recently I talked with Dick Sabias, who's in attendance tonight, and he said that he knew about Jimmy Resler not being able to read or write, so he had always worked with Betsy Grew. So Betsy Grew was always notified in the past of these zoning complaints. And since the new supervisor took office, it came to my attention today that that's when the zoning complaints all changed. Well, so did the legal counsel. But there's some pretty high-level politicians here tonight that should be looking at the competency of these people. Going after dead people, sick people, people who need help. This just disturbs me to the end, but Mr. Beeson, Mr. Barsha was here, Mr. Banaszak. I think that these people who meet with the supervisor, sometimes in private, should give them a little boost on. I think there should be a common sense complaint form that the attorney should fill out that looks for live people first to put charges on. Joe Letourneau said he even had violations in the past come to him. This would have been taken care of by him, he stated, had he known. Now, his dad may have been ashamed. His dad was sick. I've met most of this family, and I think you're a jackass for doing what you did to this family. For talking about a person with cancer to a public entity. He needed help. Jim Resler needed help. I mean, Jim Resler's brother here tonight, you know, just because there was something that happened this week that was disturbing, or last week, at the Resler property. I had taken Jim Resler to the ARC of Bay County to get him set up, and to a bank and set up an account where Justin just happens to be the CEO. Well, when we came back to my place, Eddie Brothers, found out that there was a wellness check, and the fire department opened Jimmy's house to look for him. But when we arrived, there was a neighbor walking out of his house. So let me ask you all, Patriot Ambulance was in his house. There was a total of 7 people that went in his house without his knowledge. This hurts me for the fact that if the fire department opened the house, found out there wasn't a body, why did Patriot Ambulance have to show up? Why? Why? And then how did it stay open for a neighbor to walk in through the door? I've been looked at by Mr. Gary Roof of the Planning Commission, who stands in the hallway right now. I mean, not signed in. There's a lot of awful things that happen in this township. And I think a lot of the secret stuff happens with you, Justin Evil, and you, Sam Davison. And whatever it takes, get rid of your pride. Do stuff for good. You're an evil son of a bitch.
Thank you. Anybody else?
John Resler, reside at 872 South Huron Road, Glenwood. This is uncalled for. The fire department was there. They said they tried to call people for 20 minutes. I didn't get a call. I'm at work. I did not get a call from them. Receive a call. Yeah, I'm busy. I work my ass off. I work hard. I'm trying to help my brother. He's doing a good job getting the yard cleaned up. He's getting help. For what you guys are doing is disgusting. And that trailer right there that's sitting in the yard, if I want, I'll pull that thing and put it in my yard. And if you guys are paying taxes on my yard, you want it out of there, pay my taxes and pull it out. Have I had any issues? This is bullshit. I think it's time for you guys to step up. Do right things. Same way with the township. I worked my butt off building dugouts to have ball here. And look at where it's at now. There's nothing. This is a beautiful township to have stuff. I'd love to see it have more things going on in here. I could probably bring cornhole here in the summer times. We're looking for places to play cornhole, but could we use the hall for playing cornhole? No, because we might mark it up and then not clean it up. You know, cornhole is getting big. I'm sorry, but my brother, he's going to probably stay there until he dies. And he will get help, and he will pay his taxes. I'm sorry, this is terrible. From what I heard, unbelievable from you guys and everything. I don't know what else to do, but he will stay there until he dies. I hate to tell you that, no matter what you guys are trying to do to get him out of that house. Yeah, is it not a very good house? Well, I'll tell you what, I will work my butt off and pay his taxes, and he will get that thing back up and running where he can stay in it and live in it.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Lisa York, 2892 Mile Road. While I was in the township office picking up my completed FOIA last month, a certain person walked up to me with a bunch of papers in their hand and said, "I have a question to ask you." The question, or should I say accusations, were about my search to find a township that was friendly to allowing tiny homes on 5 acres of land back in 2019, more than 4 years ago. While living in the city of Bay City, I did attend different townships to see if there was a township where I could build a tiny home on 5 acres of land. I was doing my due diligence and asking questions before purchasing any land. Are we not allowed to ask questions to gain knowledge we don't currently possess? The same person then accused me, and I quote, "I'm talking about your actions versus their actions. It's the same. You felt you were entitled to special treatment." I'm not sure if they were reading the same documents I pulled off of Monitor's website, but I did not see my actions being even remotely close to the actions of the other people and what they appear to be doing. This individual then went on to accuse me of saying, and I quote, "I'm not asking you to do this for the whole township. I'm asking you to do this for me." What was actually recorded in the minutes were, I'm guessing, the secretary's opinion, and I quote, "She is not asking for the entire township to accept tiny houses, just the property where she would build her tiny house. Her goal is to build a house less than 400 square feet." Finally, at the June 4th, 2019 meeting, the board decided not to pursue allowing tiny houses in their township, so I dropped the idea. I was a single woman trying to fulfill a dream of living with less debt to enjoy more life. I did not retaliate, bully them into changing their minds, resort to gaslighting, or offer to go out and have drinks with them. I stopped attending and put my dream on hold. So it got me wondering, how did this person know to look for meeting minutes from Monitor Township from over 4 years ago? Wait, doesn't our township attorney work at the same law firm as Monitor's township attorney? Is it possible he directed this person where to look for dirt on me? If that's true, is that an acceptable practice, sharing information with different township officials?
Thank you. Anybody else? Hearing none, let's move on. So,
I'd like to make a comment.
on your public input?
My name is Lori DeShano. I live at 1795 South Huron Road, and I'm a trustee on the board. I just want to make a comment about the fact that since I've been elected, I've had information withheld from me. I've asked over and over for information. Our zoning ordinances, the ordinance book that we're supposed to have maintained out of the clerk's office, I've asked for information regarding